John Doherty, you're watching Sport and Icon.
Right, so let's do the final rankings for the super middleweight division. It's a division that the Brits have always dominated, and it's no different this time around to end 2018. So go check out the heavyweight one and the welterweight one previous to this one for the final rankings of 2018. As I said, used on Boxrec, haven't used sanctioning bodies due to the bias that they may have to some of the fighters, promoters, managers, etc. So Boxrec is done on a point system, should be totally neutral, unbiased. No, I said should be, but anyway. So we're going to do a top 15 on this one, okay? So there are some honourable mentions. William Monroe Jr., he was supposed to take on Jamal Charlo's past weekend, but he popped dirty for PEDs. Not quite sure the details of that, but anyway, he's in at number 17. Also, other ones, Peter Quillin, number 18, Anthony Jarrell, number 19, Andre Jarrell, number 21, and former WBA regular world champion Tyron Zuger, number 25. So let's move into the top 15. Former IBF world champion Caleb Truax, number 15. Number 14, Jürgen Bremer. Again, Jürgen Bremer, he does flip between super middleweight and light heavyweight. So I'm presuming just on this ranking, he's going to stay at super middleweight. Jürgen Bremer, he was part of the World Boxing Super Series for the first one out. He did beat Rob Brandt. He was supposed to be in the semi-final against Callum Smith, but got pulled out of injury, but has had a fight since against a 33-16 fighter in Pablo Daniel Zamora Neves, where he beat him in 5 rounds. So anyway, he's got a pretty decent position of number 14. Number 13, David Benavidez. I believe that he lost his WBC super middleweight title. I don't know this for a fact. I haven't looked up on it too much. It's something to do with failing for, was it cocaine or something like that? I forget what it was. So I'm not too sure quite what's happening with him. But he does have a fight coming up in the middle of March. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with David Benavidez. Avni Yildirim, the Turkish guy from Germany. Most of you guys will know Avni Yildirim for getting knocked out by Chris Eubank Jr. But he's been on a bit of a roll since then and looking pretty good. So number 12. Number 11, again, another former Chris Eubank Jr. opponent. In fact, an opponent for many fighters. Former world champion Arthur Abraham, number 11. So let's take a little look into the top 10. Fedor Chudinov. He does have a couple of losses on his record, as we all know. Felix Sturm was one of them by majority decision, even though he did beat Felix Sturm beforehand, and he got well beat by George Groves, where he had an opportunity for the Super WBA Super Middleweight World title. George Groves stopped him in 6 rounds, but he's had 4 fights since then and won all of them. So Fedor Chudinov makes the top 10. Number 9. And as I said, British have always been very dominant. John Ryder, of course, he had a very good victory a couple of weeks back there over Andre Sirotkin, who was 15-0 at the time. So John Ryder could be looking at a world title shot at some point 2019. James Degale as well didn't have the best of 2018, but you know what, he's keeping a good position. Could potentially be taking on Chris Eubank Jr. on a PBC ITV show as well, so I have to keep an eye on that one. Also, another Brit, Rocky Fielding. Last time out, he lost his regular WBA World Super Middleweight title to Saul Canelo Alvarez in a very one-sided victory for Canelo. But Rocky Fielding keeps his position at number 7. Number 6, Jose Uzugatagui. Again, he's a fighter that potentially a lot of people saying that James Degale avoided and gave up his IBF world title for, but anyway, he's got a fight coming up with Caleb Plant, which is an excellent fight. It's a very, very 50-50 pick and fight for me. Caleb Plant 17-0 and for the IBF Super Middleweight World title. But anyway, Uzugatagui, he keeps his position at number 6. Number 5, Jesse Hart. An American, he's one of these guys, he's a bit hit and miss. He does have a couple of losses. Last time out, he did lose to Gilberto Ramirez, where he lost by majority decision for the WBO World Super Middleweight title. But he's only 29 years old, and he's still ranked high enough to potentially get another world title shot next, or we'll have to wait and see with Jesse Hart. Chris Eubank Jr., again, he did lose to George Groves in the World Boxing Super Series, but of course has come back and got a win and could be looking to be taking on James Degale, as I said, part of the ITV and PBC collaboration. So he's at number 4. Number 3, George Groves, another Brit. Last time out, he did lose to Callum Smith by stoppage, but due to his resume before then, and of course getting to the final of the World Boxing Super Series, he's in a very high position as number 3. Not quite sure what's going to happen with George Groves. Is he going to retire? Is he not? Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Number 2 is the WBO World Super Middleweight Champion in Gilberto Ramirez. He's got a very excellent record, 39-0, 25 by knockout, but very, very pallid record, that's for sure. He does have a win over Jesse Hart, which is, of course, very good. Well, 2 wins over Jesse Hart. Arthur Abraham, of course, as well. But outside of that, it's a very, very pallid record. But anyway, a lot of people consider him to be the best at super middleweight. Hopefully 2019, we get to find out. But at number 1, another Brit, Callum Smith, the Super WBA World Super Middleweight Champion. He's the WBC Diamond Champion as well, the Muhammad Ali Trophy winner and World Boxing Super Series winner with a excellent record, 25-0, 18 by knockout. A lot of people weren't quite sure where he would be in the world because a lot of people waiting for him to have an opportunity to fight for a world title. He had plenty of opportunities, but his opponent kept messing about. So ultimately he went to the World Boxing Super Series and won it. So he is at number 1. So excellent year for Callum Smith. So out of the top 10, we have Callum Smith, George Groves, Chris Eubank Jr, Rocky Fielding, James Degale and John Ryder, all from Britain, making it into the final standings for the top 10 of super middleweight for 2018. So drop your thoughts below about super middleweight. Do you agree with it? Do you not? Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.